Hello and welcome. This is Sophia from sophiaoja.com, helping you create websites that convert with email marketing and web design. So today I want to show you some examples and case studies that are connected to blog post number 42 that came out this morning. And essentially, I have, over the years, learned many different things about ways to turn your website in a business asset. Having things in place on your website so that people not only want to come back to it, but want to join your list, buy your products, and essentially follow what you're doing online. So there are tons of information, tons of strategies out there. And instead of talking about all those strategies, today I want to talk about 6 things that I actually implemented. And I will also support them with some other examples of other people that I have come across, which will help you give help you with some ideas on how you can incorporate that in your website, in your business as well. All right, so I'm going to jump into sharing my screen, and you will be able to see this. My blog number 42. So the first thing that I want to talk about is that I changed all the links on my website to have the same color. Now, this may seem to some of you who have a design orientation or have worked with website designers, this may come very intuitively, naturally to you. But I have seen so many sites out there that are quite confusing. You know, our eyes are used to and are trained to notice patterns. So let's use that inherent behavioral tendency that we all have in order to make life easy for your viewer. So this is what I mean. Let's look at my website here. This is the home page, all right? Right on the home page, you can see these 2 buttons here. They're both in yellow, or as I like to call it, mango yellow. If you move down, you'll see this is a summary of my blog posts, and as I hover over them, they also turn into mango yellow. The read more links are also the same color. And let's make it happen. Right here is also yellow color. Of course, my sign up form is the same color as well. Let's look at my blog page. You'll see on the sidebar, again, I'm working with that color training here with the categories. The blog categories are all mango yellow. My invitation to join my newsletter, my email list, is also the same color. I'm still trying to figure out how to turn this into a mango yellow. This is actually a header. So if I change it here, it also affects all my content. So that's a work in progress. And as you'll see, I'll share with you things that I'm doing and what I want to do. Things are always being refined, so I'm not perfect, far from it. But I just want to show you what I have put into place and what I want to put into place. So let's see. Again, on my live workshops page, anything that is a link is the same color. So it becomes easier and easier for people to notice that. So if I click on this, it goes to my website website that converts page, my live online workshop. And again, it's yellow. This morning I actually spotted it to be white. I changed it quickly to yellow. So you'll notice that I have put these things into place. On my purchase links, they're all yellow. Also on my Work With Me page, you'll see that the packages at the end of it, when I invite people to start the project, they have these buttons that have a yellow borderline, and upon hovering, it turns also into this mango yellow. So anytime they see this color, you can see it starts to contrast with the rest of the content, and it becomes easier to follow the conversation forward. Now I'm going to show you a website here where this logic is in place in some places, but it's not an overall strategy. So for example, this is Melissa Griffin. I've learned a lot from her. I love her work. I got to meet her in Boise, Idaho last year. She's a wonderful human being. So this is not in any way meant to criticize her at all, but just to learn from her site. It's a very successful, highly successful business. And you can see that this beautiful baby blue, turquoise blue is hinting that something, you can click the navigation. The logic continues over here with the click here button. Down here in the blog post, any links that you see are also linked in the turquoise blue. So my mind is already trained. Okay, that's a link. I gotta click there. Then I come over in the sidebar. I see that these icons are yellow, but upon hovering, they turn into that blue. Then I see something blue here. I try to click it. It's not clickable. So right here, I have kind of, been a bit confused. I can't trust that everything that's blue is linkable, is clickable. This is a search box. It's yellow. Again, here it's yellow. So there are two colors. At least there are only two colors. But as you can see that it is not coherent. The design looks beautiful, yellow and blue. So it works with the visual design. But in terms of the behavior of your viewer, it is a tad confusing. Yet again, a button here, but it's in black. But down below, we're back to turquoise. So this is to point out how you can help out your visitor a bit more by bringing some harmony. 2, I reduced the top navigation pages to just 4. So here you can see, I'll move myself here. I have the portfolio page, my blog page, work with me page, and live workshops. So the reason for this is you want to make decisions easier for your visitor. If your navigation is full of options, it really clutters the mind and breaks up the process, the flow. More time is needed to make decisions, and that again breaks up the flow. Blog, work with me, in live workshops. These are the 3 things that I absolutely want. I have my portfolio here because so far I haven't found time to integrate it with my work with me page. I'm also building my portfolio right now, so it's all work in progress. My goal is to have it down to 3 of these: blog, work with me, live workshops, and then a value-giving lead magnet, a free e-course or some sort of a free offer that people can opt into. So that's a work in progress, but already this is looking really good for me. I like it. An example here is Squarespace designer Paige Brunton. I also like very much how she's got just 3 options: blog, work with me, and course. This is so crystal clear what she wants her people to do. She also has an opt-in above the fold, which is fantastic. I'm not going to talk about that because I have myself not implemented it, but this is a good thing to have above the fold. And you can see in the footer, all the other tabs, all the other pages are neatly organized. So if you have more pages that you want to draw people's attention to, then just put it in the footer in a neat, orderly fashion. You'll see that on my footer, I still have a bit to go. These are way too many for my liking, but at the moment, these are the things that I want to draw people's attention to. So it's here, but I am going to change it to be a bit more streamlined. The ideal version would be to have pages nested within a logic, so that, let's say I'm clicking on work with me, my ConvertKit services should naturally come on the work with me page and not stand here by itself, hanging out in the footer. So that's something I'm going to fix and change as well. But for inspiration on how to organize your footer in a lovely fashion, here is a wedding photographer. And so a really lovely website. It's so beautiful. Weddings are beautiful, and so is Jacqueline's website. It's so clear, so clean, so orderly, very pretty. But besides that, I want to draw your attention to the footer. Not only does she have the Instagram going on here with Squarespace, it's so easy to add your Instagram feed, one click, really, very beautifully done here. And you can see the navigation, extra points, extra things here. I would, of course, suggest that the navigation should change it to something like more resources or some other word instead of just navigation, but it's good enough. And I really like how orderly these pages are. Follow along the social media is nested, very lovely. Join the newsletter community, the search box, her logo. I love this footer. It's really clean, really pretty, and not empty either. Sometimes people have way too little in the footer. So that's the second thing. All right, third, I chose to have a logical CTA on each page. So what I mean by that is on every page of my site, there's got to be some kind of call to action, aka CTA. So here, for instance, of course, the button here is sort of standing out a little bit in your face. That's where I want people to go because that's current right now, and I want to draw attention there. But on the rest of the page, there's got to be things that lead people onto different pages. So when somebody clicks this button, it goes to my Work With Me page here. All right. Further down, after my blog summary, again here, it's Let's Make It Happen. This button again leads people to start the conversation to build a website with me. And there are multiple call to actions on my homepage. On my, let's look at my About page. Oh, this is my blog. Okay, look at the blog page here. There's got to be CTAs or call to actions within your blog post itself, and those can be content upgrades or a newsletter invitation. But also in the sidebar, you see I have Get My Thursday Emails bubble here, circle. When somebody clicks here, they go to this page, my newsletter sign up page, right? So that's a call to action in my blog. This is my Work With Me page. Again, you'll see the call to action to start the project, very crystal clear. So instead of just leaving the package description and then moving on to the process, I invite the viewer to start the conversation, right? So that is the idea, is to invite your viewer to do something with the information that's placed over there. And here is the actual form, which is a very open and blatant call to action. ask me your questions. This brings you back to the process form, so you can ask questions here about a particular package. And finally, again, let's start the process. So several call to actions on the Work With Me page, which is an important page for me. This is the core way people start contacting me about a project. So this is really important, and then I wanted it to be easy at various stages of their research. I wanted it to be easy for them to get going on getting the process started, essentially. Let me show you one more thing before we move on, and that's the About page. So here I have all the details about myself, and then I'm not just leaving the conversation flat. I'm inviting them to get the party started. So creating a stunning website that converts is definitely worth celebrating. So here I have a button that brings them to the next step that I want them to take, which is my Work With Me page. All right, so I hope it gives you an idea of how you can place call to actions on various pages of your site. I'm not completely perfect here. There are some pages you'll find still sort of loosely just stating information, but I'm in the process of improving and changing. So you'll see, for example, I don't know, some of my pages are like that, but I'm in the process of getting all that fixed. So nothing is perfect, but I've started making those changes. All right, number 4. This is uber important. If you can only take away this thing from my entire video today, then I think we have made some huge strides. Add a content-rich blog. Now, when we talk about building a website that converts, people think about opt-ins, lead magnets, content upgrades, email newsletters, Facebook ads, webinars, and all of that. But here's the thing. If you don't have a blog, if you don't have a podcast, if you don't have a YouTube channel, if you don't have some way of demonstrating your expertise, all that money you're putting into Facebook ads, all that effort and time you're putting into social media is going to fall flat. The reason for that is people will come to your site, try to see what you're talking about, what you have expertise about, what you've demonstrated in your blog posts or podcast content. And if they don't see any of that, they're going to quickly make the exit. Of course, it takes time to build a good content-rich blog, so it's not going to happen overnight. I've started this in 2016, in the fall of 2016, to make tutorials and video articles. And you will run into challenges. I did last year, for example. I was creating so much content, I burnt out, and I had to take a break. In the end, that was not good for my business, but I've come back with more focus, with greater clarity. So I highly recommend that you have a blog post. And I got big conviction on that topic last year in 2017 when I went to the Craft and Commerce conference organized by ConvertKit in Idaho. What's amazing from this presentation, if you look at this image here, Sean West is talking about the big change that happened in his business in terms of revenue. You'll see that he was making this good, steady progress from 2007 to 2013. Boom, in 2013, his revenue skyrocketed. And that's exactly the point where he started to write daily, to create content daily. Now, you can see clearly how writing and creating content has an impact in your business. Sean says that's number one thing you need to do in your business, is to create content, to write daily specifically. In my case, consistently means weekly. Having a video, having a blog article, and a newsletter going up every Thursday, that is my thing. Consistent could look different for you. It could be twice a month, once a month, whatever it is. It could even be daily if you're at that phase. But I highly recommend, whatever it is, stick to it and keep creating content. I'll give you an example. Okay, of course you've seen my blog. I have a blog archive here, which gives you a snapshot of some of all my articles here in one page. But let me show you, let's see here. Where am I? Yeah, I just learned about this copywriter, author, Mariana Kay. And she is a freelance writer for SaaS and marketing brands. And I went over to her blog and I saw that she's got all these podcast material on content marketing, 31 audio podcasts on this topic, which is phenomenal. This one I listened to, it's full of tips, 27 tips for content marketing. It's brilliant. So I really built a good like, trust, and know factor for Mariana because of her content. Not because of her about, work with me, none of those pages, because of her blog and her podcast. I can see that she knows what she's talking about and that she has a generous, helping spirit. I resonate with that. So that's just one example of having a really content-rich blog post. Okay, here's the thing. What else did I do? I personalized my About page. Now, if you go to my site and you click on About down here in the footer, you will come to this page. And I start off with a saying that I resonate with. I put in a photo of myself with my beloved cat who has passed some years ago. And that's the photo and the brand image that you'll see on my YouTube channel, YouTube banner, all kinds of collateral that I create for my business because it's coherent and because cats are really important to me. I have 7 cats, not intentionally, it just happened, like these kind of things happen. So we take care of 7 cats in our family. And my dream is to build my business to such a level that I can fund and start animal shelters in developing countries in Mexico and India and places where there are animals who really need help. So that's why cat is also my logo, right? It's got nothing to do with Squarespace web design or email marketing or any of the tech tools. It's just my identity, my brand, right? And here's Lola. I added a photo of her. Also seeing cat images, like a lot of people, I don't know, if you're a dog person, don't worry, I love dogs too. But it just emanates that good energy, good feeling for me. So I like to come to my website, and that's part of my story. And I share here a little bit about my personal story. I'm an Indian American, born in Mumbai and moved to New Jersey. So adding a bit about myself, of course, it makes you vulnerable, but you also help people get to know you a little bit. And I have some good examples of how others have done this. I'll show you again, Paige Brunton. And you'll see that as soon as you land on her About page, a lovely smiling image of her welcomes you. And it's a very casual, comfortable image here, sitting with a cup of tea or coffee, you know, as if you're going to have a chat with a friend. That's her her brand mood that she creates with that photograph. Shares about her life, about herself. Another very informal and welcoming photograph, a nice photo in the garden. This is lovely. So you can see, you can connect with her, excuse me, beyond just the tech stuff, beyond just the design stuff, right? And she talks about how she got started. I really like how she's done this. And you can see she has a call to action at the bottom of the About page, building credibility as well with these badges. So wonderfully done About page here. Another example is, again, Mariana. And here you see she's got her keyboard. She's a writer. Keyboard is core to her business. So excuse me, so it makes a really good impression when you add a little bit about yourself and have photographs that connect with that brand identity. And she goes a bit further and shares some very personal photographs here. She's a marathon runner, speaker. She loves to travel. She likes to go hiking. She has a family. So you see that you connect with her. Another one is Jacqueline. We saw her site earlier. What a wonderful image here of smiling, very approachable, very friendly. The site itself looks very highbrow, you know, very sophisticated. And when you see her smiling face here, you connect with her. Oh, Jacqueline, that's my friend, you know? So, and yeah, and there's more images about her family as well. And I resonate with her. We all have families. We all like to travel, most of us. And these are the kind of things that help you connect with the person behind the business. And I find that a lot of women do this really well, but men entrepreneurs have a little bit of, I don't see that often. I see that they hesitate a little bit. If you're a man, please show yourself. Let us see who you are. It doesn't have to be elaborate. Just one photo is good enough, but put your photograph there. Tell us who you are, because we want to do business with people. People buy from people, right? So don't be afraid, especially on your About page. You are allowed to get personal. Here is Roberto Blake. This is his About page. It's essentially my story that I clicked here, but in essence, it's his About page. And here you can see he really does this well. He's wearing his Create Awesome t-shirt. That's his brand. He always talks about creating awesome things, always be creating. And then you see a couple more pictures of him. He is a big YouTube creator, very successful on YouTube, and he trains people. He's also a speaker. So this photograph is perfect. You got his cell phone camera. It's one of the things he also talks about is don't need fancy things, just work with what you have. It's probably a really good phone with a good camera. That's all you need to start creating on YouTube. So that message comes out in that photograph, right? What he stands for. Again, he's wearing his branded shirts, always be creating. And you can see him, you know, smiling and out and about. A little bit of his journey as well here. Some credibility boosting logos. And that's it. That's all you really need. Just something to connect with him. He's wearing his t-shirt here, not a suit, because that's not who he is. He dresses really well. He'll wear really nice hats. That's his style. And you don't want him to be showing up here in a suit, because you will not find him like that during his speeches or in his videos. So, but here you have another example of About page. This is Emily Burns, or Burns, I'm not sure how to pronounce that. She is the CEO of a human capital consulting firm, right? So look at this picture, a very CEO appropriate outfit, very much put together. It's a perfect photograph for the brand identity that she's wanting to emanate. And that's it, just a little bit about her herself. Of course, this about page is a bit more work and career oriented, so I don't know much about her as a person, but that's fine for the purpose of this business. And here's Amy Porterfield, whom also I look up to, have learned a lot from. And this is her about page, and you'll see a very nice casual photograph of her talking about her journey, very stylized, lots of details here, and helping you to connect with her entrepreneurial journey as well. Lots to read. You can really get to know her. It's very, very generously shared content. And then if you go all the way to the bottom, you'll see here is a very, very personal picture. She loves her dog and is obsessed with with the dog Scout. And this makes you connect. We love animals. People love to see people being kind with animals. So this is a wonderful about page wrap up right here. So with that, I encourage you to go for it. Put in some extra details that you would not talk about when doing a technical demonstration of some app or giving leadership advice or some negotiating skills. You may not talk about who you are, but the about page is the place for you to do that. And we need you to do that because people want that. We want to connect with who you are. All right. Next and last thing is add a location map. Now, I have done this on my site under contact. On my contact page, you'll see on the very bottom, I have put my coordinates. And you can see that it's a very, very green location. It's basically a national forest in Western North Carolina, the Appalachian Mountains. And this gives you a location for my business, where I am. I don't see this often, and that's just the way people like to be a little bit more anonymous. They will give a general location like Southern California or whatever, but I find it very attractive when I know where that person is located. So whenever I get to know a new person, I'm like, where is this person located? Maybe it's just me. I don't know if you feel that way. But otherwise, we're just dealing with people in this nebulous, open, deep space of the internet where people are just floating around. We are essentially earthbound. I myself at least like to know, okay, this person is there in London, this person is in Australia, this person is in South Africa, or this one is just around the corner in Charlotte. So it makes things palpable. I don't know if you feel that way, but put in a location. You don't have to put an exact address if that's not something you want to do. But put in a general location, Toronto area or Atlanta area, or, whatever that is. So those were my 6 tips. And now I want to invite you to come to my live workshop. I am doing a live workshop about creating websites that convert. We'll talk about these and other tips. So if you're interested in learning more, just go to my site, click about learn more, and get all the details. It's a 90-minute live online workshop, just like us meeting for a cup of coffee live, not in person, but as close to in person as possible. And I'll share with you how you can turn your website into one that converts. Specifically on Squarespace, that is important to point out, a Squarespace website. I'll show you how to build a new Squarespace website and think about conversion-friendly strategies right from the start. So check it out on my site, sophiaoja.com, and let me know if you have any questions. And I would like to say that this has been quite a lot of fun. Thank you so much for joining me. Let me know if you have any questions about building websites that convert, what challenges you have faced, if there are other tutorials that you want me to make, or if you'd like to work with me, of course, reach out to me without hesitation. Thanks for joining me. See you in the next video. Bye.